Yeah, there was a little came off a harder in there, a little puck battle in the corner. From what I remember, it was a little give and go. Duchene made a nice play to me. Kind of, they got a stick on her, missed it, whatever. Hung around there. It was just a battle. Caught Dutch kind of out of the corner of my eye on the side and just tried to get it out there. And for me, on that, you're battling and it gets out to him, and I just got an eye on the net, and it was nice to see it going.
Well, I mean, for him, of all people, to score the winner after what happened in the first overtime, just what do you think of
that? We believe that one counted.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gray area these days. It really is. We thought it looks like any kind of contacts outside the blue paint, and then their guy pushed it in. But I think it was a pretty resilient group in that in that sense of kept going. We get into the intermission. We were talking about we're gonna win this game because we're the better team. It doesn't matter the calls right now. We're gonna win. We're the better team tonight. Especially the second half. We felt like we had legs. We were rolling four lines. Everyone was contributing, playing a role, and getting time, and you could feel it out there as this group, and when we believed it. Mush was in our ear the whole night. Once we got together, that we were going to get it, and he got the one, counted in our eyes, I think, and then we had another crack at it, and Dutch put in. So yeah, a lot of emotions. It's a fun night. It's double overtime. It's kind of what you think about, in the series.
What's it mean to get second straight Western Conference final? I know it's one step along the way, but it's a big step.
It's a big step for sure. Means a lot. Means we're still alive. Playing good hockey. Means the dream's still alive. That's what it means.
You had to fight back in games all season long. You've been a great comeback team. Had to fight back again today and in the series in general. Can you just talk about the resilience of this team?
We've played with the lead a lot this series, and then we got tested here a little bit being down. And I think their second period we weren't great, and we were kind of stubborn as far as putting pucks in and how we needed to kind of create. They did a good job in the neutral zone, knocking pucks down, going the other way, so we really couldn't establish our forecheck. It was, you're down games sometimes. Sometimes you got to open up or try things, and what I really liked, I think, in the third and in the overtimes is we were committed to doing it the right way, and we were tie this game up, by our forecheck, by creating some ozone time, and just a great play by Segs and Daddy and Chubbs to get us that one. It was a simple chip, drive in the middle. Daddy makes a great play over, and Chubbs finishes it. And that was kind of a huge turning point for us. You could feel the legs coming for everybody. It was third, in the two overtimes was by far the most legs we had tonight.
Pete has a knack for pushing the right buttons. He didn't again tonight. You see amazing sometimes because a lot of these lines aren't exactly the lines you've come together with during the season.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great coach. Got a lot of respect for him. There's times he coaches us hard, and sometimes he knows what's going on, and he's got a lot of belief in this group and work tonight. So it was a big win for us. We've been going every other day here for a while. Try to get an extra day or two and just get some recovery, stay engaged, and we know there's going to be a good team coming. So it's game one will come soon enough, and we'll go from there.
Joe, piggybacking off of that with Pete, when you end up in the intermission after that first overtime, and you can imagine the different feelings you guys might have had about the no-goal call, what does he provide to refocus you guys?
Yeah, I think the comment that stuck with me was we're going to win this game because we're the better team. We've been the better team the second half. And it was like you could feel it on the bench out there. You felt like we were having the zone time. We were wearing them out, and we were playing the four lines, and I think we believed in that and that it would come.
Obviously, a lot of excitement. It was great to get that win.
Joe had said that the feeling was we're going to win this team because we're the better team, right? And you feel you showed that in both overtime periods, just that you guys were the better team tonight.
Yeah, we're confident with our group, top to bottom. Our D played unbelievable. Goalie was awesome, and we were rolling four lines, and I think that made the difference.
we've seen Jake have some pretty special playoff performances before. That one's got to rank pretty high up there, though, in your mind, in his mind. What did you think about how he played?
Yeah, unbelievable. Like I said, he's rock solid back there. Loves a good challenge, and he's an elite goaltender.
Sometimes the hockey gods get it right. Having Matt Duchene score the game winner in this one, it's just a perfect story, it seems like, in this building, too.
Yeah, I'd like to see an explanation on the first one, but that's hockey. It doesn't always go your way, and we stuck with it as a group. We felt, we were playing some good hockey, and obviously pretty nice for Dutchie to get that one.
Can it actually help you to go through more adversity and then come out on the right side? I know if you would have had to play Game 7, you would have been exhausted, but now you can maybe get some time off and you get to build on whatever the mental strength is from this.
Yeah, I thought we just did a great job as a group. I stuck with it all night and found a way to win, and obviously feels good.
You break down your goal, just sweep pass by Dadanoff and finish.
Yeah, great play, by Segi and Daddy, and just found a way to put it in.
Jamie, what were the emotions when the no goal happens, and then what did you see as far as the refocus from this team in the intermission and coming into the second overtime?
Emotions were pretty even keel. Obviously, it wasn't a goal, so nothing you can do about it. You just keep moving on, keep playing hockey, keep playing the right way, and in the end, it all worked out.
Back-to-back years going to the conference final with Pete leading this team. How special has his impact leading this group been?
Pretty special. He's a hell of a coach, along with the rest of the coaching staff and everyone involved. And they put down a great game plan for us, and we just try and go out there and execute it.
You guys have been hunting around this now for a number of years, third time in 5 years in the conference final, obviously the cup final appearance as well. What makes this team different? What makes this the one that you feel can finish it off?
Probably the deepest team we've had in a few years. I feel like we're deeper than last year, deeper than when we went back to the finals, and now it's up to us.
Can you take us through the celebration and the emotions after everything that happened and that puck goes in?
I don't even know what I know I ended up on my knees like last time I got one in overtime, but no, I have no idea, to be honest with you. It's just elation, right? I mean, hard-fought series. They're a hell of a team, obviously, and they were really good the last two games, and they pushed us hard, and that was a huge goal at the start of the third, and Otter was unbelievable for us, and I thought we were really good in the first OT, and they had some good looks in the second, and as did we, and we were just able to kind of outlast, I guess. So, obviously a fun victory for us, and nice to not have to go and play 7 games again, and hopefully get a little bit of rest here. I mean, I think we've played 11 games in the last 22 days, so it'd be nice to have a little reset here.
Matt, can you walk us through the no goal, and is it sweeter getting the game winner there after that situation having happened?
Of all people to ask me that question, it's you, eh? Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the replay really of the no goal. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I mean, I think you just stay with it. It's obviously can be a little tough to reset after you think it's over and hope it's over, and then it's kind of a gut punch a little bit. But I thought that's kind of what we do is no matter what is thrown our way, we're a pretty even keel group, and everyone just reset and kept going, and we had another few chances in first OT, and then obviously got it done in double.
Jake, can you speak to the path your team has taken to get to the Western Conference Finals, beating the last 2 Stanley Cup champions, winning a bunch of road games in both buildings and tough places to win? What does that say about your team?
Yeah, it's it just shows a lot about the guys we have in there and the coaches and the game plan that we have, and I feel like we we've been the better team in both series, and we deserve to be moving on. And it's just you can be the better team, but if someone doesn't step up and finish it, then it doesn't really matter. So Dutchie did that for us, and for the guys that were here last year, I mean, all we wanted is an opportunity to be in the position that we were last year, and snap your fingers and we're back. So now it's up to us to change the ending, and couldn't ask for more than just another opportunity to give another run at it.
We've talked a lot about just how important the season is for you, the decision you have to make in the offseason, the emotion, and the opportunity you have. One, how does that all tie into this goal in this building? And it just has to be a lot of emotions. And then two, Mason Marchment said a certain part of your anatomy was over the goal line. That's what the refs were saying.
On the disallowed goal? No comment again. Anatomy, that's a strong word for when we're in hockey gear, I guess. But no, yeah, I mean, I've talked about when I had the opportunity to sign here, it was one I jumped at, and obviously didn't expect to be in that position. But God works in mysterious ways, and I've from the time I signed here, I've just been very grateful, and I've been looking forward to these opportunities. And my teammates and the coaches have been just amazing, welcoming me in and helping me, get acclimated early. And this run's just been. I mean, this is only the second time I've been past the second round or first round in my career, and now we're going to the conference finals. It's just, I mean, at 33, I think there's a certain level of appreciation you have that you wouldn't have had as a young player. And we've talked about it. Several times when you go into Game 7 against Vegas, and you've played that game 100 times in your driveway and on your outdoor rink as a kid, and you get to do it for real. And I've probably let it stress me out more than it's been fun at times, just because you want it so bad. But it's I'm starting to relax a little bit more, and it's getting a lot more fun as it's going here.
Matt, this team won 31 games here in the regular season. They were 2-0 in the Winnipeg series at home. You guys win all 3 games. Just how did you do it?
I mean, they're an unbelievable team. I mean, their top end guys are as good as anybody. I mean, what a year Nate had. I mean, really happy for him, and hopefully he gets the results and with the awards that he probably deserves. And Cale, obviously, I mean, unbelievable. Mikko, I mean, those guys this was their house this year, and yeah, I think we just did as a team. I mean, simple answer, it's really hard to shut those guys down, and we did our best. You're never going to shut them out, but you can limit them, I guess. And we're just the strengths in our depth, and we're kind of the true definition of a team. And it doesn't matter what building we go into, whether it's at home or the road, we play that to that identity.
Mike, right side.
Jake, you talked about the desire to get back to this stage for this team. You guys have been kind of hunting around this level of success for a while now, 3 times in 5 years, getting to the conference final, of course the cup final in 20. Why is this group different? What's different about this team that can finish the job?
Yeah, I think for me, like a lot of the young guys, like we hadn't felt like what it felt like till last year. Just like the pain of going that far and coming up short. And I think, like I've said before on this run, I think, like Dutchie said, I mean, you never know how many times you're going to get this opportunity to win a Stanley Cup and to really feel like you have the team that can do it. And not many teams can say that. And I mean, we feel like that in this room, and this hockey's such a crazy business, and the turnover is crazy, and you're never going to have the same team again. So I think just for us, it's all about just the opportunity, and, to get to the conference finals 2 years in a row is an accomplishment in itself. But, I mean, this whole run's a waste unless you win the whole thing. So it's just, we have this great opportunity, and we just want to make the most of it pretty much.
2 questions left, Nick.
You think the overtime periods were the ultimate sort of example of your depth, right? 11th game in 22 days, double overtime, game 6. I think you guys had the best legs you had all night. Do you think? And you're an added depth piece, right? So it scores the winner. Is that an example of what this team's been all about?
I think so. I mean, I looked at the monitor beside the bench. I think it was a TNT monitor. And I looked at the minutes, and our top forwards were 10 minutes less than their top forwards. And I mean, they have some people that are borderline superhumans over there, but at some point, you might hit a wall. And I remember yelling down the bench halfway through the first OT, the longer this goes, the more it benefits us. And I think you're bang on. I mean, our depth is just, that's our strength, and it's been our strength from day one, and that's the way this team is built. But it doesn't work if guys don't buy in. I mean, guys have had to take lesser roles at times. When guys are hot, they play more, they get more opportunity. Guys are cold, they have to take a little bit backseat and be a bit of a supporting character and a good teammate. And guys, every single guy to a man has done that this year, and it's adding up to success. And we're halfway, and there's lots left to do. But I mean, that definitely, I think you're bang on that.
Last question, Leah.
For either of you guys, in Pete's first 2 years, led you guys to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. What is it about him and his coaching style that's led to such immediate success?
I mean,
Your turn.
I'm a goalie, so I don't really know. You'd have to answer that.
You're gonna make me talk again?
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I just think, I just think the thing I like about him or just his message since the playoffs started is just like staying on the defensive side of the puck. I mean, we can score with anyone. We have so much offense, and he's really like honed in on, if we can play good D, and I mean, we played, Nate and Cale and those guys, if we can shut them down, we're going to get our chances and we're going to score. So anytime a coach says like focus on D, makes me happy. So I like that about him.
I would just say he's an unbelievable defensive coach, but he's an unbelievable offensive coach too. I mean, guys like me lets us play. He encourages us. He wants us to play. He wants us to, be offensive. So, and that's the way that's kind of our identity. We have this team has been a really good defensive team for a long time. And when he came in, they started, they beat you 2-1 in the past, and then last year they started beating you 5-1. So it's nice to be on the other side of it now.
Start of the season a lot less for a little more, right?
Yeah.
And it's about depth. And I
Yeah.
think you're 11th game in 22 days, double overtime. You had the best legs,
Yeah.
rolling 4 lines. Is this where it paid off?
So proud of our group. I think it's actually, that's our 13th game every other day. You get both previous Stanley Cup champions. What a gauntlet, Colorado was a more rested team, after their first round. I just couldn't be proud of our group. I thought everybody dug deep. And our depth did carry us through. That gave us a spark because, we've got a mix of older and younger guys, but they were just fantastic. And it's just hard to believe with a gauntlet like that you're only halfway there. But we're going to enjoy and need the time off here, and get ready for the next round.
Pete, I guess you could say it's a moot point, although, you're hoping to play 2 more rounds where there might be another goalie interference review. I mean, what's your sense of what you saw there?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to get an explanation. I didn't get an explanation. I'd heard the referees had talked to some of the players. The players had told me what the referee said. Sometimes that gets lost in translation, especially with some of our players. So I don't want to comment on it till I get an official explanation. I think puzzled, but I want to hear what the explanation was.
Hey, Pete, Matt Duchene's journey as well as anybody.
Yeah.
The whole situation with Nashville, and then to come back into this building
Yeah.
and to have this, first the penalty or whatever, the
Yeah.
infraction, and then to get the game winner. Just
Yeah.
what a storybook ending. For
Yeah,
the
really
game.
really happy for Dutchie. And he's ridden the confidence roller coaster here the second half and in the playoffs. Really, some high highs and some low lows, and it was probably about as low as he could be after Game 5. And again, that's why our group's special. I thought they rallied around him, and he was maybe our best player tonight. So that's what teams do for each other.
Hey, Pete, you've taken a couple different franchises to the Stanley Cup final before. What so far about this run makes you feel like this can end in the special way you want it to?
Yeah. Well, you never know, right? But you're down to 4 teams out of 32 that started this journey. I never take for granted making the playoffs. It's really hard. It's really hard to win a round in this league, and it's, you know, obviously even harder to win two and get to a conference final, so on, so on. So you never take that for granted. You never know how that journey is going to end. You know, I think, you know, any of the teams left could win. You gotta have some luck. You gotta have some health. You gotta have some bounces. I think really, you know, hopefully the stars align for us.
29 saves from Otter tonight, some of them rather spectacular.
Yeah.
What'd you think of his performance?
Yeah, he was fabulous. He was really fabulous early. You know, Colorado really pushed in the first, like we knew they would at home. You know, that's the other thing. Our team comes in here and wins 3 road games against the best home team in the NHL. You know, just fantastic character to be able to do that against that team in this building. And it starts with him. I mean, we don't get through the first period unless he's dialed in and makes the saves he makes.
Pete, Zach Parise, in his final press conference
Yeah.
with us, took time out of his time to talk about you, to talk about the relationship he has with you, and
Yeah.
just rooting for you to go on and win the Cup, I guess. What could you say about him, his career, and just what was
Yeah.
that moment like in the handshake line with him?
Yeah, you know, Zach was my first captain in New Jersey, where we actually went on a playoff run, went to the Stanley Cup final. That was my first playoff as a coach, and he was our leader, you know, on and off the ice. Just he's always been one of my favorite NHL players because, you know, he's got an engine that doesn't stop. He's got character that oozes. He's just had a fantastic career, fantastic family man. You know, I wish, you know, our paths would have crossed again at some point. I know we tried, you know, a few times over the years because I would have loved to have worked with him again. I just you know, much respect for the player and for the person, and you know, he should be awful proud of the career he's had and the legacy he left. I mean, nobody worked harder than that guy every day, and you know, tip of a hat to him. He's a good man.
And then another good story, Petrovic just coming in off,
Yeah.
and then what were his contributions? It seems like he was the important part of
Yeah.
this, especially in double
Well,
overtime.
I mean, you know, he became available to us. The American League team lost out. He was their captain down there. The thing that was intriguing about him was he's a right shot, you know, which we thought was important. But he's also played 250 NHL games, and he's also played NHL playoff games, and he's also a big, heavy, hard man, and that's hockey this time of year.